Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now, as many of you know, on my website, techblogwriter.co.uk, there's a blog post for every episode where you can see what the guests look like and also links on how you can find them. But there's also a feature at the very bottom of each post where you can leave a virtual voicemail to yours truly or just leave a question. Now, let me tell you, I do get some weird and wonderful messages. Most of them are anonymous. But today I had one from somebody calling himself Daniel LaRusso from Rosita. And he just said, when Moon, when Lambo, and then hung up. I think we have a middle-aged Karate Kid-loving crypto fan on my hands. Or maybe it's my very own stalker. I don't know. But what I can tell you is it didn't sound too much like Ralph Macchio. But a big thank you to whoever you are for leaving that message. Put a little smile to my face too. Now, sticking with crypto, I've got a great story to share with you today about a company called the NAGA Group. Now, crypto fans will know straight away that there is a NAGA coin on CoinMarketCap, so I immediately wanted to find out more. But the more I investigated, the more fascinated I became. Founder of the publicly listed NAGA Group is Benjamin Bilski. He's also featured in the Forbes 30 Under 30. He's the maker of the NAGA Coin, like we've mentioned a few moments ago, but he's also a German former swimming champion, as well as an expert in crypto and fintech. And at NAGA, they believe that the financial world is about to change, and they're on a mission to revolutionize that outdated banking sector. That was more than enough to grab my attention and get them on here today. So the company is based in Germany, but the founder is waiting to speak with us in sunny Cyprus. So buckle up and hold on tight, because I'm going to beam your ears all the way to Cyprus so we can speak with Benjamin Bilski from the NAGA Group. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Benjamin. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Hi Neil, I'm Benjamin Bilski. I am the founder and executive director of the NAGA Group, and I am mainly responsible for our products, technology, and company leadership. And about my background a bit, so I'm now 29 years old, and I have been a professional swimmer, so I was in the German national team and several times German champion. So I come from sports. Then I sold my first e-commerce startup when I was like 22, and then started doing everything around tech. So it brought me now to my company, which I founded in 2015, the NAGA Group.
Well, you've got a fantastic backstory there. So you're a championship swimmer. This is a Hamburg-based fintech company, and you're actually living in Cyprus at the moment, aren't you, as well?
Yeah. We have one of our offices. We have offices across Europe. One is in Cyprus, and it's our financial brokerage, basically, which is licensed here. So I moved here 3 months ago for the operational part.
Now, like I said there, the NAGA Group is a Hamburg-based fintech company on a mission to democratise the global financial system through your own ecosystem. So can you tell me about what problems you set out to tackle and how you're aiming to solve them with the NAGA Group?
Yeah, so the history also behind NAGA Group was that I co-founded it with a bank founder who's called Yasin Sebastian Qureshi. He ran a public listed German bank. And so he was all about the finance part, corporate finance, investment banking, algorithms, hedging, etc. All the complicated stuff. And I came from the sports perspective, then to technology, e-commerce. So I came fully from the retail side. And he invested in one of my companies, which was a fashion startup. And he said to me, you know what? You have such an easy approach, because I had something like a dating app for fashion. It was like Tinder, where you can swipe people left and right, able to swipe clothes left and right, shoes, whatever. So it was very simple. And he said to me, you know what, our financial system in general and the banks and all the solutions are very complex to understand. Can you do something like that for finance? So this was kind of the foundation from our mindset, how we set up the company. So it started, from a dating sports e-commerce perspective. So the problem that we want to tackle is we want to make everything around capital markets, finance, trading, understandable, kind of comprehensive for everyone. So that you don't need a PhD to understand trading charts, or if you want to wire money, you don't have to wait 3 days. All of this kind of convenience and user experience was set up to be our goal. And so we decided kind of to make a group of it with several portfolio companies, which are tackling all of these problems. And we started off with financial trading, capital markets trading, which we have simplified to the max with our app called NAGA Trader so far. And now we go down the line with an own crypto wallet, own crypto exchange, own bank accounts, credit, like debit cards, so we go all the whole value chain in the financial system, make it just easy. And we like to call ourselves a bit like Amazon for finance. So you need one login, one account for all services.
Now, something else that really caught my attention with you guys is because I'm a big believer in diversity of thought being crucial to success, especially when working with technology. So I love the fact that you actually operate in 5 different countries and have employees from 30 different nationalities. Was that always intentional from the beginning, or did it just kind of happen that way?
Yeah, so we are also we are strong believers of the Singularity University. So we have read, especially Yasin and me, Exponential Organization. So we were always strong believers in the approach of being autonomous, independent, and as a company having lots of satellites that work across or around your kind of headquarters or your mind and thought leadership. And so this was from us, it was intentional because we knew that we'll not find talent just in one country, but we need to pick specific groups of people. Every country, I'd say, like has a different, strength as well, or every kind of mentality. So this was how it started from the very, very beginning. And when we just started, we already had 3 offices in 3 countries. Right? So it was completely intentional, and we have a lot of diversity. And so we have lots of cultures, also specific education levels. Also, every country has different solutions. So all this diversity is brought to NAGA, and we know exactly how to react. That's why we also operate global from the start. So we were actually born global from day one.
And you also named the company after the world's hottest chili. So I've got to ask you, what was the story behind that?
Yeah, so actually, the name apple was taken, yeah, and cucumber was kind of strange, So, and we saw it. There's the hottest chili in the world. It's called NAGA. We have investors from Germany, but also from Asia. And the Asians, they can spell it. It's very important to have such a brand name, which is short and understandable across the world. So NAGA is to spell. So that's why we after our 3rd try, we were like, okay, this is it.
Now, 1/3 of the world population has no access to banks, and it seems to have been neglected by the traditional banking system. Was that something you were passionate about changing right from the outset?
Yes. So number one, what we wanted to solve is in the beginning, I said, was the complexity in banking. And then obviously you realize that if you look at the jurisdictions across each country, compliance, etc., there are the banked world is the Western world, or the world that is more rich. But the poorer regions, especially also 3rd world countries, they are completely underbanked. And also one of our claims is we are driving financial inclusion. So we want to try to solve our services to serve them to everyone in the whole world. We are using blockchain now to make that happen. And our really goal is that everyone, for example, can trade stocks or have access to capital markets. We already realized that with our NAGA Trader app. And we also have an own coin, like a NAGA Coin, a crypto coin that you can use. So if you are in Nigeria, for example, you can purchase our coin, use this coin in our NAGA Trader app, and invest into Apple stocks. So this is kind of something where we see a huge market potential, especially if you look at the underbanked. They are already skipping traditional banking and going direct to mobile.
Glad you mentioned the NAGA coin there. So can you tell me a little bit more about the technology behind NAGA, and also where that coin fits into the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, so actually our entire team is a technology team. So we are really a technology company, and we have 80 senior developers in our company. We have 200 in total people. So we are very, very much about tech. And using our own technology that we are writing in the most modern languages. So we're building everything from scratch. We do not like third parties, for example. So this is very important. And the NAGA Coin was launched 7 months ago. So we were founded, as I said, 2015. After 2 years, when we were raising funds, we were going also IPO with the company. It's very important to mention. And then we made an ICO. So we launched an own coin. Why did we do that? Because we have own tech. We have an use case. We have retail-minded products. And we saw also the hype around the cryptocurrencies, but not only the hype, also the usability of those crypto tokens is very attractive to us. So we used this ICO to launch the coin. We raised $50 million from over 60,000 people. So it was one of the largest ICOs in terms of contributors. And this coin is a unit of account in all our applications. So you can really use this coin to a trading account or stock trading account, and you see the whole account in NAGA Coin. So if you trade Apple stocks, you're making profits in NAGA Coin, and then you send them out and exchange again to fiat money or to Bitcoins. So you stay, and this is kind of the purpose of the whole coin, to also gain accessibility, because crypto tokens are not regulated everywhere. So you can also buy them in any country. And so it's very attractive for people to get access to something very highly regulated, usually, or compliant with a block. But this time you have a funding method, which is based on blockchain, and you can use it in an app that touches reality. So this is kind of the whole ecosystem concept that we've built.
So I've got to ask, have you secured any partnerships with payment providers or from other areas, and how are they going to help you move NAGA Group forward?
Yes, so obviously, this connects also to the last statement, because we are operating globally in different markets. So it's very important to have a cash in, cash out function in anything that we're doing. So one of the most remarkable partnerships is a company called MyBucks. They're also listed as we are in Germany, but they're operating in South Africa. They offer microloans, and now they also wanted to offer remittance services across Africa. And they will use our own NAGA wallet. And our NAGA wallet is a cryptocurrency wallet that stores over 1,000 tokens. And you have a direct payment gateway via credit cards, bank wires, etc. So we enable then people in Africa to send across borders their money, saving a lot of fees, and also having much more speed than a usual wire that takes ages, and you don't know what happens with your money. So this was one of the biggest partnerships that we have done now in the recent periods.
So for the world of crypto to really change the world and make a difference, like I think we both want it to, and we both know it will, it's going to need some big institutional money to come into crypto. And most importantly of all, mainstream adoption. Are you noticing this starting to ramp up more and more now?
Yes, I think, what was very bad for crypto is actually the high volatility for institutional players. So every VC fund or big institutional investor, they have some rules. Yeah, they have some kind of also their internal compliance, etc. So it's not always easy, even if they want to pull the money in or push the money in. So it's tough for them because of the high volatility, unregulated framework, etc. You notice it from time to time. I'm seeing a lot of big players around that are interested. However, if we want to go into mass adoption in terms of being a financial product, you need to have a specific regulatory framework. I know a lot of countries working on it. I'm also here in Cyprus, so Cyprus was also very innovative in that term. So there's happening some things on a political level, economic level, to make it happen. If there is the framework established, then there will be a lot of money poured into the market. As of now, the crypto market is very, very small. 250 billion. It's half of, like a quarter even of Amazon, or Apple. So it's not big. We have 20 to 30 million crypto traders yet. It is big for people who are in crypto, but it's actually based on the financial system is very small. So we need the mass adoption, but we need for this as a requirement, this regulatory framework, which will also flatten out a bit the volatility, making it more transparent and usable for the real world.
Now, I do suspect there are going to be people hanging on your every word here that have come from Telegram groups and Reddit groups. So can you tell me a little bit more about your roadmap for the future and the big objectives that you're aiming for over the next 18 months and beyond?
Yeah, sure. So, we started off kind of sticking very much to our roadmap. So in the past 7 months, we have done a lot since the ICO. We also launched, as I said, this crypto wallet. We will have now our NAGA card released, which is like a prepaid MasterCard connected to the trading account and the whole NAGA ecosystem. And then in 2 months, we are releasing our NAGA exchange, which will be a regulated exchange, allowing people unlimited fiat deposits and withdrawals via our own system. So you can actually, trade Apple, but you can also trade physical cryptos on our exchange and cash in with Bitcoin and cash out with USD. So it's like a cross-border system. Plus, we also have a platform called NAGA Virtual, where you can trade in-game items from games. I find it highly attractive because it's a huge market with 2 billion players or gamers around the globe. And this will be also an integral part of the ecosystem. So we will launch the tool that you can trade on in-game item prices. So you can speculate on for example, on some guns or on some in-game items from Counter-Strike, whatever, and then use this as a collateral to trade cryptos or trade stocks. So it's a complete, end-to-end solution from fiat to cryptos to stocks to Forex or to in-game items. So this is the big plan on the roadmap to make all this happen. So people can, with one account, trade every asset that you can imagine via our exchanges and our trading apps for the retail clients.
Now, I'm sure there's going to be more than a few people listening that are more than a little curious about what you're creating here and that vision for the future. So could you just remind people listening of where they can find you online and also contact your team if they have any questions?
Yes, sure. So actually myself, I'm very, very active on Twitter. So you can find me under Benjamin Bilski on Twitter, or you just visit our webpage, naga.com. There you find all the information since being relaunched some days ago. It's very nice now. And we have a Telegram group. So you can just visit naga.com/coin and then join Telegram. I'm also on Telegram there personally every day. So we're pretty accessible, even though we're very busy. But that's what I can just recommend. So number one, my Twitter handle, Benjamin Bilski, or naga.com or naga.com/coin to join the Telegram group.
Well, there's so much excitement in the crypto space at the moment. But for me, it's not about Lambos or going to the moon. It's about making a real difference and creating a different future. And the fact that 1/3 of the world's population has no access to banks and seem to have been completely neglected by the traditional system, and that here technology is coming along and making a difference and providing these people with services is a fantastic thing. So a big thank you for coming on and sharing your story today.
Thanks, Neil. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Today's guest and his story was quite unique for a number of reasons. I mean, he's sitting in sunny Cyprus talking to us today, but he's also running a Hamburg-based fintech company, which must be the world's only company that has launched both an IPO and an ICO within 2 years, is named after the world's hottest chili, and also founded by a German championship-winning swimmer. But seriously, instead of talking about Lambos and going to the moon, we need to remember that 1/3 of the world population has no access to banks. And it also seems that these people have been neglected by the traditional banking system. And this is what Benjamin is attempting to tackle with technology at the NAGA Group. And this has got to be far more exciting than making quick gains on Binance. But enough of my rants and rambles. What are your thoughts about today's topic? What are your thoughts about the NAGA Group and indeed Benjamin's vision? I invite you to tweet me at Neil C. Hughes, email me techblogwriter@outlook.com, or leave one of those virtual voicemails by dropping by my site techblogwriter.co.uk. But I'm afraid we're out of time today, but have no fear, I will return tomorrow, albeit virtually. But until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.